Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And today, here on a Tuesday, it's the Barnes and Tony show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Yo, dude, I'm doing great today. Weather was nice when I woke up. Not too warm yet, which is nice. Got some good sleep. So let's have at it. We'll talk about NFL. What we thought, dude? Obviously, big Ranger win too. Nice
big
T-shirt.
Ranger win.
Let's fucking go.
Igor shirt. So kind of ironic. Began the year. Lots of concerns about Igor.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Clearly, I know, he didn't play last night, but I'm just saying, just the way he's played, down the stretch. I mean, he's been unbelievable and quick. It was nice to see him rebound last night. And of course, we'll talk about it. But yeah, there's so much to talk about. And I can't believe the amount of comments. I think a pre-show record, over 20 comments. Let's get to those.
Yeah, definitely pre-show record. Absolutely love to see it here. Let's see. Let's scroll my way to the top here. Of course, Kev Dew, the first one to comment today. We want the smoke, dude. Cole gonna start the season on the IL. What's up, Yankee boy? Hashtag TC DTV. Hashtag Sports Report. Shout out to the whole DTV crew. Whole without the W, by the way. So put that out, dude.
Let's go. Kev Dew.
Let's go, Kev Dew. Yeah. Judge hurt too. He says SMH, but he's not. It's just like
he said he expects to be back for opening day, so it's fine. What's up, Kev?
Is he actually hurt though, or was it just like
abdominal? But MRI, everything's clean. He's fine. So
yeah, how about that, Kev? Yeah. And Michael Buckner. Speaking of that, what's up, fam? Barnes, we're gonna keep Judge healthy, buddy. And he's also Barnes. I think Tatum would be a great water boy. I have some assigned tasks that he can complete. That sounds weird. How about a little bat boy, dude, for the New York Yankees? That'd be kind of funny. Lots of NFL free agency signings yesterday, he says. I'm sure absolutely we'll be getting into it. And then Josh B in the house says, yo, gents, what is good? Fucking Yankees with the sick emojis there. Hashtag TC, hashtag Sports, hashtag TV. Josh B, knowing him, Brian, probably like downtrodden, like absolutely, right? Like depressed, sad, worried, Yankees, doesn't know. Buckta hyped about Wilson to the Steelers, by the way. Again, we'll get into that, obviously. And then Kev Dew says, yo, Josh, that's what you get with the Yankees when you have a guy that boasts about the Yankees like Double B does.
Yeah, it just, you know what, Kev? I mean, let's just wait till the season starts. I'll be ready. Let's just say that.
And then Birdie in the house as well with another let's go. He says, what's up, fellas? Kev Dew kick rocks. And then Josh B hype for Bernie. Kev Dew saying, what's up to Buckta? The kick rocks. Michael Buckta says, Jeremy Schaap, ESPN.
Wow, I didn't know he was in on that joke.
There we go. I mean, I'm sure he's heard it enough, Actually, speaking of Jeremy Schaap, I'm pretty sure he's speaking at SHU.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, dude, I wish I can find this email. I may have deleted it on one, but dude, he's deaf. I'm pretty sure he's talking about there's like a sports gambling like colloquium.
Colloquium.
Yeah. You ever go to one of those at like when you were in college?
Sports gambling, you said?
Yeah, that's one specific on
that's
sports
what Jeremy
gambling.
Schaap's talking
Jeremy
about.
Schaap is hosting it, dude.
He's placing bets every day. What's he talking about?
I mean, probably gonna give some students some pointers, dude.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Dude,
but it's supposed to be like gambling awareness, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, hey, like take it easy, 1-800 gambler, whatever. If you need help, I'll keep you guys updated with the date on that one. Josh P says Kev drank some sour milk, dude, and they're talking shit about Cole and Judge and yada yada yada. And then Prefer in the house is there will be. I hope Cole and Judge get better soon. I remember when Singer got hurt. Well, that wasn't too long ago. Prefer.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. And listen, there's nothing definitive I could say about Cole. Until the results come out. I mean, I guess
next week they said, right?
I don't know. It starts with, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. I mean, you know what I mean? It always changes. But some people are saying, that they're cautiously optimistic. Hopefully that's the case. And like I alluded to yesterday, usually these things aren't good. So I definitely embrace it for the worst. But as far as Judge is concerned, there is no concern on my part. I know he's going to be out there for opening day, and it's good to get these things in check beforehand. But obviously, I wish we had some clarity, on the Cole situation. It's tough, and we just got to wait with bated breath, Tony.
Oh, you bated breath, dude?
Yeah,
never heard of that. Michael Buchter also last comment here saying, imagine me fighting Tatum on the court in the finals. He says, just picture it.
What do you think the odds would be on that in terms of like them boxing match? I'm saying,
like, if it actually happened,
Tatum minus 450 favorite.
It might be like 1,000,
5,000,
5,000,
5,000.
But hey, don't underestimate Buchter. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's true. Heart of a champion.
Heart of a champion, dude.
Yeah. But so much going on. Obviously,
going on,
flurry of moves in the National Football League. So let's go to the world of the NFL.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again.
Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So, as I alluded to, huge day in the NFL yesterday. Signings all over the place. And I think when when it comes to, notables and contracts, I think the thing that does pop out, and something again, like the Russell Wilson situation that we actually mentioned even yesterday, became official as Kirk Cousins, 4 years, $180 million, going to the Atlanta Falcons. And really, it didn't surprise me because I said this yesterday. Arthur Blank is absolutely sick to his stomach regarding the ineptitude of this franchise. Really, I mean, the last 6 seasons, ever since that Super Bowl, it's been downhill. They restart with Raheem Morris. And then obviously, you look at last year, the combination of Taylor Heineke and Desmond Ridder didn't work at quarterback, but they are loaded at the skill positions with Algier, with Bijan Robinson, with Drake London, with Kyle Pitts. So they go with Cousins, obviously coming off the Achilles and at an advanced age of 35, I believe turning 36 in August, Tony. So getting up there, but obviously was productive prior to that season-ending injury. What were your thoughts on 4 years, 180 million Cousins to the Falcons?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's such a big toss-up. I mean, obviously improvement for the Falcons. I mean, I feel like it's a move they had to have made. Did they overpay for him necessarily? I don't know. Maybe a little bit, dude. That Achilles injury really worries me the most.
What about they were talking about Rick and Dave today. I think he's made over $400 million in his career, one playoff win. Talk about a good agent, huh?
Yeah, really.
Do they have the agency listed here? No. I feel like baseball only does that for something, for some reason. Let's see. I'm sure it'll come up right away.
Agent.
Sean Stiletto?
Sean Stiletto. Mike McCartney.
Oh, but so unrelated.
And
I should just save it to the Rangers conversation, but I have to say this. So I don't. Were you watching the game last night or no?
Not the whole thing, but yeah, I did.
So it was in the beginning. Yeah. Did you see the beginning?
Like first period.
Yeah. Okay. Did you hear what Sam Rosen said?
Oh no, what did he say?
So he's talking about the goalie for the Devils.
Kakkonen.
Yeah. And he goes, no relation to Capo Caco. That's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Not even the same last name. Why would you ever say that?
I don't know. I mean, dude, he is losing it. We said it like a little bit, little down. He's old.
Do you think he still does a good power play goal?
Oh yeah, dude. Of course. Are you kidding me?
The reason I thought of it is because like Mike McCartney. That's like me saying no relation to Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny.
But
what do you think about Cousins here?
I think it's a good opportunity for regular season because that division. I mean, obviously Baker, back with the Bucks, Evans. So you expect them to contend, try to repeat. But the Saints, Derek Carr. I mean, I feel like Atlanta has the better team. I mean, we'll see what happens with the draft, with free agency, and then the Panthers. In the first year there, new rookie head coach Bryce Young, the struggles last year. I don't think they're competing. So Atlanta is in the driver's seat. But the problem is, what's going to happen come playoff time. But I guess Arthur Blank looks at it as let's get to the playoffs and then we'll worry about it then.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes, again, like it's an improvement, right? And, I mean, like you said, like he was playing really well up until his injury last season. He played really well the season before that in the regular season. So, yeah, I guess you're right. Their mentality is let's get to the playoffs first and then let's worry about it. And you never know. I mean, Cousins, like new place, new players, new staff. Like, I mean, he could have maybe, he could overcome that hump in the playoffs, I guess. But do you see that, Brian?
No.
Really?
But
like first round and out?
I mean, I guess it's matchup dependent.
Right. Do you think they have a chance at winning the NFC South?
Yeah. No. I mean,
like
I honestly too, because that division, you look at it historically. I know Tampa, I think, did it the last 3 years, but typically, you don't win that division back-to-back years.
Right.
And I do think Atlanta's due. So as long as he's healthy, I think they will win the division. And listen, the whole Baker thing, good story, this and that. Wouldn't be surprised. Not to say that
he's gonna lay an egg.
No, but not a terrible season. But again, almost reminding me of the Devils of the New York Giants this year, where surprise season next year, people take you seriously, right or no? I mean, I think that's definitely in the realm of possibility here. And like I said, not to say it's 5 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, but that instead of 28 touchdowns, whatever it was, 10, 12 interceptions, that it's more like 18 touchdowns, 10 picks. Instead of winning 9 games, they win 7. I mean, I'm sure you could see something like that happening.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, man. I feel like it's more. I know you can compare it to the Devils, where it's been like he played over his head 1 year, next year then not as good. But I don't know. I feel like he's not. This isn't his first rodeo here. He's been through a few teams. He's been in the league for a while. I honestly maybe even compare it to the Panthers here, whereas he captured that lightning in the bottle last season, and he's going to ride that out next year. But again, I mean, time will tell. I guess it could really go either way.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens. The Bucks also made a trade with the Lions, trading Carlton Davis, their starting cornerback. So that was interesting. Swapping 6th and then receiving a 3rd round pick. So that was that also came out yesterday. And so did a bunch of other moves. Really one of the biggest, most talked about, and I'm actually excited to talk about this for a second, is Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants, signing with the Eagles here, I believe 3 years, $37.5 million.
Correct.
And I did already say this, but I got the notification. MRI and Aaron Judge's abdominal area did not show any structural damage, and he hopes to be ready for opening day. So there you go, Kev. So I know he was waiting on bated breath, Tony, on that one. But in regards to Barkley, I'm in a group chat with a couple of my friends, and 3 of them, all Giants fans. So
really
bent out of shape. How could he do this? Always gonna hate him now. And then there was the whole thing with Tiki Barber. Tiki is
dude.
So ripped.
Honestly, he is
he's
ripped.
on drugs.
That's ridiculous, by the way, what he said.
Heavily
so
sedated.
Wrong. So wrong.
So ridiculous. And it's like, Tiki, what did you do? You just retired abruptly. Everyone hated you in the locker room. Clearly, you're jealous that Saquon Barkley was a lot better received with the Giants. But in terms of Giants fans, getting all up in arms about Barkley, I mean, there's a couple of things here, but I think the biggest thing more than anything is, are they not like reading the situation here? I mean, the Giants are not going anywhere near the postseason next year.
Yeah. Really.
So you think on your roster, it's in your best interest to have a running back making over $10 million?
Yeah. I don't know why people were tight about it.
Yeah. It's an emotional attachment. He was drafted 2nd overall. Almost kind of reminds me of the Kako situation in a way, except, I think he's accomplished more, but has gotten injured at a similar clip. But also the fact they were both second overall picks, both overdrafted. So it's like you don't compound a mistake. Clearly, we know by now, didn't make any sense to draft him second overall. So now that the team is in shambles, in the middle of a rebuild, you're not going to invest this type of capital. And I mean, we really haven't seen, any other teams other than the San Francisco 49ers paying Christian McCaffrey. Other than that, we really don't have any evidence of high salaries, running backs, second contracts winning. And the Niners, they didn't win the Super Bowl. I know they got there, which is great. And I think both of us agree he is worth his salary. Anybody else? No, it's not. And it's, and then on the side of the fans being unhappy with Saquon, it's like, so you want to have a problem with Saquon after, first of all, he wanted to stay. And second of all, what's the reason that he's not staying? It's not because he doesn't want to stay. It's because the organization did a horrendous job since drafting him of building a team around him. So you don't have a competitive team. They don't want to offer him a contract. And he's at a position at running back where you get beat over the head religiously in terms of, not getting paid and just really being cheated out of salary. The running back salary, every position in the NFL, salary goes up. Running back, it's gone down. So of course he's going to take every dollar he can get. And also, he's got a few years left, probably 3-4 years, I would think. And it's like, so, he obviously wants a chance to compete and he gets that here in Philadelphia. So I just don't understand it's like, I think it's a form of delusion, Tony, for Giants fans to think that Saquon, when making his free agent decision, is going to not go to a team that pays him the most money and gives him a chance to win just because it's a rival of his former team that fucked up the roster and didn't want to re-sign him. I mean, is that not the definition of insanity?
Yes. No, I mean, I think it is kind of outrageous the way some Giants fans are reacting. And, I think Bernie says it well, though. He says Saquon, he's glad that he left, got his money, just upset he went to Philly.
And I think, though, Tony, there's a difference between, upset that he's being with Philly, but to actually, because, and I'm not speaking for Bernie, but a couple of my friends I talked to, they're actually pissed at him for picking Philly. And it's like, that is insane. I'm sorry. It's like in the fact too that those people act like if they were in the NFL and they were going to get $5 more million, $10 more million from a team, that they're not going to do it for the fans. No, that's just like not a realistic situation.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know if anybody's ever done that, to be honest. Like, I don't think there's ever been a situation where somebody has knowingly taken less money to not re-sign with a division rival after their team didn't want to re-sign them. I mean, that is the definition of crazy.
No, yeah, I would say it's never happened. I mean, obviously there have been certainly been players in the past, that have said, "Oh, I would never play for this team, never play for that team because of the rivalry." But I mean, we've seen examples where when players get, look at Johnny Damon. He said never play for the Yankees, and he gets offered, goes there because obviously it's a winning organization. They want to pay him a lot of money. He's going to go there. So yeah, I know. I mean, it's tough though. I mean, you would hate to see it,
but it's an emotional, delusional attachment.
It is an attachment,
and I mean, you get why the fans are delusional. I mean, the Giants, take out last year, and I guess you want to take out the trip to Miami with Bieber year. Other than that, they've been one of the worst teams in the league every single year. So it's like, of course they're upset, but it's like signing Saquon is some big deal. Was it going to return them to the promised land with Eli Manning, Tony? That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, dude.
So kind of interesting that he goes there. We also had Josh Jacobs, I believe 4 years, $48 million to the Green Bay Packers. So Jacobs leaving the Raiders, going to the Packers, who's starting running back Aaron Jones was released, Vikings? And then signs a 1-year deal with the Vikings for $7 million. What do you think though about the the Packers going from Jones to Josh Jacobs, who did not have a good year last year, but also is 4 years younger than Aaron Jones, and appears to be a better runner. I know Jones is big with the carries out of the backfield, but you combine the advanced age. To me, this seems like a better deal for Green Bay. And also, those numbers don't look good last year. But I think that line played absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And I think you go to Green Bay with a competent quarterback like Jordan Love, the weapons he has. I think this is going to work very well.
Yeah. Was Jacobs hurt at all last season?
Yeah.
He was? You
Yeah.
know what it was?
No. But nothing like
nothing crazy.
Yeah.
No torn Achilles.
No.
Well, I would say, yeah. I mean, the age difference is huge. That's going to help, I think, the Packers and Jordan Love a lot, dude. What do you think though about Jones getting released though? Do you think it was a good move?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, this article might tell me. But first of all, so 29 years old, will turn 30 end of next year. Missed a lot of games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to see. Okay, it doesn't say. What the numbers were, but I know it was a big contract, probably more than $10 million. So I would totally rather pay Josh Jacobs than Aaron Jones.
That makes sense.
He's coming off his least productive regular season since his rookie year, only 656 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. He did have a good postseason though, 226 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games. But it's interesting for Minnesota because you lose Kirk Cousins. You signed Sam Darnold, and I think that's more of a backup scenario. I don't think they're expecting him to start games, but I guess, Tony, my thing is here though. It's like, and let's say the plan is Sam Darnold, then maybe draft somebody, then have him, eventually take over. But why sign Aaron Jones then? I don't get it.
That is, especially like you said, it was a decent amount of money, right?
Yeah, $7 million.
Interesting.
Darnold, do you think he ends up working out in Minnesota or 1-year deal? Motivated. Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, he hasn't really been working out anywhere else.
26 years old, though. I mean, there is time.
That's crazy that he's that young still.
And then you look at it, I think it was the season finale against the Rams. They lost 21-20, but Darnold, 189 yards, a touchdown, sacked 3 times, QBR 54. As you would say, not terrible. And I think, Kevin O'Connell, like I said, a former quarterback himself. I mean, I think there is an opportunity there if he's given one. There is a chance of him kind of turning it around a little bit. Maybe not living up to the 3rd overall pick stature, but, still turning it around nevertheless.
Yeah, dude. You don't
think so?
I mean, what do you think his stat line is going to be when he?
I don't know.
Get a lot of starts. Even?
I feel like if he did, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see him doing 20 touchdowns, 10 picks, 3,900 yards or something.
That's pretty solid.
If Jones is healthy, the rock, good run, mix of run and pass.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, Tony. So that's interesting. And from one backup to another. Gardner Minshew, signing with the Raiders, 2 years, $25 million. What do we think about Gardner going to the Raiders to not only compete with Aiden O'Connell, but also they have an opportunity to bring in a young quarterback as well, but they're kind of in the middle of the draft, so not exactly in position, but maybe middle rounds. Does Gardner Minshew have a chance in Vegas?
I mean, yeah, I absolutely think so. I mean, Minshew Mania in Vegas is going to be, I think, a pretty big storyline this upcoming season. Kind of surprised. Don't you think the Colts would have held on to him? They want to pay him?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they just had to sign Michael Pittman. I think it was a 3-year, $70 million extension.
Yeah.
Or, just new
contract. I mean, that's kind of crazy. I mean, again, you look at his numbers last season. I mean, he was pretty good, and I think he will be competitive in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I think that quarterback position is wide open. Do you really think, though, Vegas is going to try and get another quarterback?
In the draft.
You think so?
Sit. Yeah. And then they're going to have O'Connell compete, but
right.
I'll tell you this right now. I mean, I have a hard time thinking that there's any chance that Aiden O'Connell is going to beat out Gardner Minshew. He's ready for this role, and especially
Minshew.
Having Devontae Adams, clearly the best target he's ever had in his career. I think that's going to pay massive dividends, Tony.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree, and I can't wait to see you cheesing when Minshew does well.
We also had Tony Pollard leaving Dallas, going
Titans,
to
right?
the Titans.
Crazy.
It kind of had a disappointing season last year, playing on the franchise tag after Zeke Elliott, was released. You look at the numbers here. So last year for Pollard, just over 1,000 yards, 4 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. He's 26 years old, but I kind of think, he showed that he can't handle the load as like a 3-down running back. And I think that it was a little too much, a career high, 252 carries. So he goes to Tennessee to replace Derrick Henry, who's also a free agent, and it's a $24 million contract. What's your thoughts on Pollard going to Tennessee?
That'll definitely help their running back position. I kind of thought, we joked, but I did kind of think maybe, Julius Chestnut would get some more touches over there in Tennessee. But I would say, I think that's good for Tennessee. I think it's a pretty good deal. I think Pollard's going to be healthy. Again, I feel like last season you said, career high in the carries. I think he's maybe pushed a little bit too much. But I feel like, Dallas relied on him, like I said, like a little bit too much, I think, out of the backfield here. So, I think it'd be cool to see him run for Tennessee, and I think he'll certainly be probably boasting another season with over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I think it just depends. What's the line look like? What does the quarterback play? If Levis takes the next step, I think he could be effective, but they will need to have like a tandem. I don't think he can have 300 carries this year.
Who's your other running back?
Tajay Sharp, maybe? Nothing crazy.
I feel like Levis he took some strides forward last season.
Yeah. But it's a big year. It's a big year. So we got to see, what happens. The New York Giants, a big trade yesterday, acquiring 2-time Pro Bowler Brian Burns, who had 8.5 sacks for Carolina last year, in exchange for a 2025 5th-round pick, a 2024 2nd-round pick, and a 2024 5th-round swap. They also give him a 5-year, $141 million contract, $25 million signing bonus, $87.5 million guaranteed. And at one time, I believe under the previous regime, the Panthers were offered multiple first-round picks for Brian Burns. So they trade him for kind of pennies on the dollar compared to that. But of course, the Giants pony up here and really, go for it in terms of the pass rush, because, you combine him with Kayvon Thibodeau. There's going to be some serious pressure off the edge. Obviously, a huge contract. But what's your thoughts there on the Giants ponying up for Brian Burns?
I don't know, dude. I guess it's an improvement, right?
No, it's a good player to add. Yeah.
You think the contract's too big?
Kind of, yeah.
Right? It seems rather enormous.
But I think they're thinking, you have somebody that's respected as a pass rusher that demands defensive attention. Mm-hmm. You put him next to Thibodeau. Somebody's going to really reap the benefit of that. And potentially one of them could have 20 sacks this season.
Yeah. I guess Thibodeau did have a good season too. He looked really good when people were pretty down on him, I feel too.
Oh, yeah.
So, that'll help. If you want to overpay for him, that's fine. Where did he come from?
So he came from Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, we'll have to see, what happens there. The Jets, a couple minor moves yesterday.
Like a quarterback.
First-round pick, Javon Kinlaw from the Niners, somebody Saleh worked with in San Francisco. Numbers, don't look good, but I guess, just the familiarity, hoping to get the best out of them. They also go with Tyrod Taylor.
Wow.
As their backup quarterback. So obviously the former New York Giant, former Buffalo Bill, former San Diego Charger, going to the Jets. So I think that's a big upgrade compared to Zach Wilson. He's a guy that started before. Oh, please. Nope, not.
Is it really that big of an upgrade, though?
Defeat was admitted to in silence, Tony. Okay, it's not even a conversation anymore. So we're gonna move past that.
Yes, the bated breath. Okay.
So I think that was a good move. Minimum money. And then they also get former Ravens guard John Simpson. I think 26 years old. And he's going to replace Laken Tomlinson on the line, but I guess he led the Ravens in penalties last year. But I think the thought process coming from Baltimore, he started all the games in the regular season and postseason. So they're just hoping that he will provide some type of upgrade on the line. And you said some other signing, Tony, did I miss, or were you talking about Taylor?
Taylor for
Okay,
backup
gotcha,
QB.
gotcha. So that was a big deal as well. And then Christian Wilkins, over $100 million contract with the Raiders, leaving Miami. Miami got hit real hard yesterday with free agency losses. They also lost Van Ginkel, one of their linebackers as well. So many moves, almost hard to keep track of, Tony.
Yeah, honestly, literally, dude. What do you think is your favorite move? Not necessarily, I guess, the most impactful, but your personally, what was wow, it's a good move for you?
That definitely is a tough one.
I don't want to hear Tyrod Taylor, okay?
I guess Cousins, just because Atlanta, I want to see what that looks like. Because it felt like their team's not too bad. And then, you have a competent quarterback if he's healthy. And then especially Bijan Robinson, I think it's perfect timing there because I think he's ready to explode. Really didn't get the full allotment of carries that someone to his stature deserves. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah. And I feel like, you kind of talked a little highly of the pieces in Atlanta,
right?
Like
Drake,
good
London,
offensive pieces, yeah, dude. So that's pretty cool. It will be cool to see how Cousins does.
Yeah. And then the Bengals also releasing Joe Mixon. 27 years old, hitting free agency, and they're going to go with crazy. Former Buffalo Bill and Indianapolis Colt Zach Moss at running back, only 2 years and $8 million. You also saw Austin Eckler sign with the Commanders.
Oh, wow,
which was a surprising deal there. I think might have been like $17.5 million. Nothing crazy.
Rosenberg probably loves that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Eckler, I think he's getting a little older and really more of a receiver than running back. But I think the whole thing with Washington under new ownership, really looking to compete. So they figure Eckler, who reunites with his former head coach with the Chargers, and Anthony Lynn, who's the running back coach there. So I think they're just looking, for some continuity there. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And then Devin Singletary, the former Houston Texan, Buffalo Bill, he moves to the Giants, I believe, 3 years, $16.5 million. And actually, Kev just texted me Marcus Mariota signing with the Commanders.
Whoa,
from Philadelphia
dude.
to Washington. But I think
no.
But I'm saying he's probably going to be like the third string quarterback because they're going to draft a quarterback in the first round. They have Sam Howell, so I think that's more of just a depth piece. But I always said I wanted to see him get more of a shot, but I guess he didn't take advantage enough of his opportunity when given. So
definitely not.
In the NFL with the Titans and that stint with Kev's Raiders and the Falcons. Yeah. The quarterback show, Jay was riled. Just didn't work out.
No, it did not.
At the end of the day, Leonard Williams, big money deal to re-sign with Seattle, the former New York Jet as well. Just moves all over the place. But the Jets obviously not doing anything of consequence yet.
Not yet.
But we'll have to, we'll have to see what happens, right?
Did you, I guess, are you anticipating anything?
Who, right?
That's what I don't know.
Yeah.
If a lot of moves have been made already.
And then Jacoby Brissett back to the Patriots, the team that drafted him. Not too much of a surprise there. I'm just kind of scrolling here if there was anything that I missed. But Tony, as a depth piece, we probably would have made the playoffs with him last year. So again, I think we overestimate how much good quarterback play there actually is in this league.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know about playoffs seems a stretch.
Does it though?
Brissett?
I feel like though, come on. I know you have a soft spot for Zach, but it's like I feel like you're underestimating the fact of you don't need someone to come in there and be Patrick Mahomes. But if you just have someone doesn't turn the ball over, passes for 200 yards a game, throws to open guys, it's like that makes a big difference than like deer in headlights every time.
Come on, Brian. We've talked about this though. It wasn't just that. Like literally. Even dude, how many quarterbacks do we have this season? Like 3. Okay, go in there, and even anytime it's like, God. Tony Romo was like, oh wow, look, no one's open downfield. Stop it. All right, let's pump the brakes a little bit. All right, let's pump the brakes.
But the thing I think you just have to realize is
Jacoby Brissett. Give me a break.
The thing you have to realize is sometimes guys just aren't cut out to play the league and they're bust, and that's okay.
It is okay.
When we talk about the Saquon Barkley emotional attachment, same thing there.
No, it's fine. It is okay if they're not good. That's fine. But you can't just sit and be like, oh, like with anyone else, we would have made the playoffs. Well, there's a million different things wrong with the Jets, dude. There's a million different things wrong.
But I think it speaks volumes that nobody wants him. I mean, how about that? More than above anything else.
I'll take Johnny's calling in. All right. You want a little hot take?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want a hot take?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Stand by. Don't breathe heavy into the microphone.
No, it's not because of that. I'm just thinking of actually about something else.
Oh boy. All right. Hot take. You're live on the sports port, bud. Johnny.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, dude.
Good morning. Shout out to the company of Jason, Downtime TV, Sports Port. Sorry, I never comment, been listening, just busy around the apartment. So
that's all right.
Yeah,
but good show as always. So free agency been crazy, man. It's I mean, kind of expected it, but you guys talking about the attachment and people's like, my God, there are just athletes playing for these sports teams. Like to with injury and stuff, or to burn your jersey with Saquon, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't get that.
So you have no qualms, like you're okay with it because you're kind of agreeing with us about how it's what he's got to do.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah. So the difference between Philadelphia's situation and the Giants' situation is they're drastically different spots as far as where the franchise is. For Philadelphia, it makes sense to add a piece you hope is going to be one of the final pieces for that Super Bowl championship, and you can spend that extra money to do that. For the Giants, they have so many other needs to spend that much money when you could bring in Singletary, who is not as good, but the level of production he's going to give you is close enough to where the amount of money you're saving and able to invest in other positions is the smarter move and the best move in their situation. Where Philadelphia, that's the best move for them. I don't blame Saquon. Like, what is anyone else? All these people saying that, are they going to turn down an extra $5 million a year from Philadelphia to not upset Giants fans and go to some AFC team? Get out of here. Get real. You want to do that. You want to say, hey man, turn around to tell your kids or your wife if these fans were adults and it was their decision, and say, listen, I could make us another $15 million over the next 3 years, but I'm not, so I don't upset some Giants fans. Hey, get out of here.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing is that fans don't want to realize it was a mistake to draft number 2 overall. So then it's like I said, you're going to compound it and give them a boatload of money when you're not going anywhere near the playoffs. So why would you sign them?
Yep, and I think it would have been. The biggest mistakes a lot of GMs make is they make mistakes by drafting a guy wrong or signing a guy too much money. It's when the biggest mistake is doubling down on that by trying to make it work with that guy when you realize you're not. That's the biggest mistake. Everyone makes misses with drafts, and Saquon was a real big mistake. But by doubling down on it, by giving him a contract when it's not the time to do that, would have been worse. I'm really happy with those linemen they signed. Jermaine out of Oakland. I'm not going to say his last name because I'll butcher it anyway. He's an average offensive lineman, and to go from what they were to average, and then Runyon, and once again an average offensive lineman, to go from horrendous to average is a big upgrade. And actually, I think their biggest signing isn't even talked about, and it was done about a month and a half ago, is Carmine Brasillo, the offensive line coach from the Raiders. I think that's going to be the biggest move they've made in the offseason. And no one talks about that. But coaching is everything in the NFL, and he's a good offensive line coach.
Offensive line is everything.
Oh, yeah, the trenches. And that's why I think Burns, too. I know they paid him a lot, but he's a good pass rusher, and having 2 of them is a world of difference. Thibodeau's not going to face the same amount of tension, and Dexter Lawrence up the middle. So I like what they did yesterday. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting. What do you think they're going to do at quarterback?
I would expect them to draft someone. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm torn between. I mean, they could trade up and get someone, but they have a lot of holes. I wouldn't be really upset if they were to trade back a little bit and then maybe get someone else they think they can develop. I'm not saying Penix is a guy. I don't watch a lot of college football. I don't watch a ton of it, so I can't comment on how I saw him play. And let's be honest, how many of us can really break down a quarterback about whether he's a good pro? Like, we don't. I don't understand NFL quarterback footwork as much as no offense to you guys, but I don't think any of you guys are experts on it. And also, how he releases the ball. Like Aaron Rodgers, I believe, reworked his throwing motion once he came into NFL because it had a hitch in it or was a little slow. I mean, that's what coaching's for. So my guess is they if they're going to get someone they can develop, because I don't think any of those guys are falling to them. So I think that's it. And if they start Daniel Jones for a year, in fact, even if they were to trade up for Caleb Williams, I think they should sit him for a while anyway.
Yeah,
I just think that's the right move to do with quarterbacks.
Not getting Caleb Williams. I think if anybody moved up to get him, it would kind of look like Bryce Young in a year. I don't know. I just don't think he's ready to just come in, especially to teams that are struggling and just light the world on fire. I think he's going to face some adversity, and there's a question as to, can he handle that?
Yeah. Well, look at all the best starters in the league. Mahomes sat. Julian Love sat. Aaron Rodgers sat. Lamar Jackson didn't start right away. Hurts sat. Purdy sat.
Zach Wilson
all the best quarterbacks
right
in the league.
Yeah.
Now, just Lawrence started, but he was horrible until he got a good coach. And almost all the best starters in this league sat for a little bit. I don't know why you feel the need to. It baffles me that's still, guys have to start right away. When there's evidence. Tom Brady, I know he wasn't a top pick, but he sat for a year.
Mahomes. I mean, that's the best.
Yeah, Mahomes. The two greatest quarterbacks. People want to say Mahomes is going to be the greatest. Brady's come on, the greatest quarterback in history sat for an entire year and learned.
Yeah.
So, so is you're a little bit worried about our Mets Yankees bet right now with Cole and Judge?
No, because Judge is going to be fine. I mean, they already said nothing came back on the MRI. Cole, I mean, I've been saying, and I don't know what you think, but it's just I kind of really bracing for the worst, just because, I mean, how often is it like, his elbow is just a little sore, he'll just miss a little time and then he's fine, and then there's no consequences from that point on. I mean, usually you just don't see that. Hopefully that's the case, but it just seems like we're looking at a multi-month absence at the absolute minimum.
Yeah, and then with the way Rodon's been looking,
I mean,
if he isn't Cole and you're missing Cole, boy, that starts to become tough. When Stroman's your best, I'm a Mets fan. Stroman is our best. That was not great.
Yeah, I think Stroman's going to be good. I think Nestor will bounce back, and Rodon is a wild card. But I do think, I mean, there's more of an opportunity for him to rebound than people think, and I get it. I mean, it looked bad. He's gotten knocked around a couple of times in spring training. Also had a good start. So it's just a matter of, let's see what the first month looks like, and then we really can make a determination.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense now that Vogelback hit a home run off of Cole now, right? Mm-hmm. That makes sense now.
Yeah,
because Vogelback is horrendous, and yes. So what do you guys think about tonight's Rangers game?
Big game in Carolina.
Yeah.
I like that Igor's rested. Obviously didn't play last night. So I think it's a good opportunity, and especially the last two big litmus tests you had, with the Maple Leafs, with the Panthers, you didn't win. So I feel like it would just be big to kind of reestablish your positioning. It's a tough task with the moves that Carolina made, but show your strength, show how good you are. And I think it's a big game to win.
Yeah, I like the additions. I'm bad with name of Weinberg. The guys they traded for have fit in well. Weinberg, thank you.
Yeah,
Roslin. Yeah, they fit in well, which I think is important. I know they're not stars, but I like the moves they made. I think adding depth is really good. I'm glad they didn't give up too much. I just don't think, Getzel, with him being a free agent, wouldn't have been a great thing to get. I mean, look at last year with the Rangers. Adding big guys doesn't always work out. I think that last night they played well, and the guys fit into the system and with everyone else. Seems like chemistry right away with them. So, yeah, looking forward to tonight. That got the Knicks on at the same time, and OG's coming back, so that'll be fun. It's good sports night, and of course today with free agency still. This is fun time. It's a fun time, right? You got NCAA starting to come up to tournaments and the conference tournaments. Yeah. But I just saw today's the 15-year anniversary of the 6 overtime Syracuse Yeah, that was what a fun game that was. Yeah. It's a great time in sports, man. Really.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
and then you got recreational things like golf that goes on. Not a sport, but, it's still fun to keep track of, right?
Come on,
dude.
Players
That's a cheap
Championship
shot. That's cheap.
starting Thursday. But yeah, a lot going on. We're so pumped up, and let's go Rangers, basically. Let's see what happens tonight. But as always, appreciate you calling in, and we'll catch up.
Can I get a quick question real quick?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to the DNR live show?
The DNR live show. When?
Yeah, I haven't heard much details about that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's May. I'll get the date wrong. Second. Yeah,
the Mets
second. I think it is.
The Mets.
Yeah, they're doing live. They're doing it live. Yeah, in the morning. They're doing live.
That one. Yeah, that one. I mean, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, May 2nd.
Check our calendar, and we'll
make
a decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a blast last year. I'll be there. A bunch of us from the Jays will be there, and it was a blast. You guys should go, man. It's awesome. It's such a good time at the live show.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, have a good day. Just want to chime in and say hello, and great show as always so far, and you guys always do a great job. Love listening. So
yeah, appreciate.
I can't always comment. I'm at work a lot, so when I'm at work, it's sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, but always listening.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it. So yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good day, gentlemen.
Peace.
You too. That is Hot Take Johnny.
Bang, dude.
And I also see a couple comments trickling in here.
We have a ton of comments.
Hey, Bonds.
Matthew Gibson says, hey, Bonds, dude. And then up here, Kev Dew says, Hot Take Johnny can evaluate running back, supposedly, he says. And he says, bad take, Johnny. Michael Buckner just confirmed Caleb Williams is not going to light it up right away. Number one overall draft picks are cursed, he says. Going back a little further, Minshew going to have a career year, says Kev Dew Taylor, as well as Sam Darnold, he says. I can see that happening. Lonnie says, does Minnesota have a ghost?
Sam Darnold,
ghosts. Dude. And then let's see what else we got. They said that about Judge's toe, too. I don't know what he's last year about.
Just ignore that. And ignore that too.
You don't sound confident in Rodon there, Barnes.
Yeah, I mean, how could you be like 100% confident? But I'm gonna give him the first month, and if he's bad, then I'm gonna flip out. But until then, we'll give him the chance. And I just think with the whole medical thing with the Yankees, it really is just so annoying. And it's like I think for whatever reason, I think they portray it as by waiting to disclose things that they're trying to not get the fans worked up, and they want to explore every last avenue to make sure injuries are what they think they are. But it's all it does is just piss us the hell off. I mean, that's what it is. And I guess just because of the way things are, Rizzo and this and Cole, and I mean, I'm guessing, Tony, I mean, we don't know, but I'm guessing it's again, they think that, Cashman or whatever, thinks he has the best medical team. And that's why there's these misdiagnoses. Cause again, he knows everything. He knows best. It's not their fault. It's the player's fault.
Yeah. It's kind of bullshit, dude, is what that is.
I mean, I don't know how, if George was alive and what happened last year with Anthony Rizzo happened, fired on the spot, the medical team, whole team,
literally
done as soon as he found out about that. So I don't know. I just want them to just announce this now, get it over with. If it's gonna destroy us now. Don't wait when you know what the deal is. That just pisses everybody off.
Yeah, it does. Also back to NFL free agency. I don't know if you saw Gabe Davis went to the Jags.
Yeah, I did see that.
Million.
You
never liked Gabe Davis.
He's not that good.
I kind of liked him.
I
with
think
the Bills, dude. Nah, I don't think so, dude. I think
he had a lot of great
target for Lawrence.
All those Pro Bowls and 1,000-yard seasons.
He's gonna be a great target.
Still counting, Tony, how many of those seasons he had.
Great. Target.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, if he is, I mean, you obviously like the size that he has at wide receiver, but it's just the production hasn't been there, inconsistencies. And I know some of that may be attributed to Josh Allen, but Trevor Lawrence has also been known to be inconsistent as well. They have Calvin Ridley there. Travis Etienne gets a lot of receptions out of the backfield, so I don't know how productive he'll be, but time will tell in that regard. So let's just go quickly to the world of Major League Baseball.
Pujols
What a play! Stop it, Skip.
And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight. And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So split squads for the Yankees yesterday. With these two matchups here, you saw them beat the Orioles at George Steinbrenner Field 5-3. Will Warren, second win of the year, 1 earned over 3 innings, striking out 2. Clay Holmes, Ian Hamilton, combining for 3 scoreless, 5 strikeouts, 2 hits, no walks. So good to see some of our top relievers getting the job done. Offensively, we saw Austin Wells have 3 RBIs in a single, so he's really been hot after a slow start to his spring. And then you had Alex Verdugo going 2 for 3 as well, so that's a good sign. Anthony Rizzo also with a single as well. So you like to see that. And then in the other game that was in Clearwater, they beat Philadelphia 2-1. Luis Heel, Tony, coming out of the pen in relief of Clayton Beeter, who also looked great. The prospect coming over in the Joey Gallo deal, 4 innings, 2 hits, and 4 strikeouts. And then Luis Heel, all of his outs over 3 2/3, 8 outs, 8 strikeouts, and only 1 hit allowed. So you love to see that. And then Oscar Gonzalez was the difference in this game, a 2-run homer. The former Cleveland Indian, I believe he hit the walk-off home run in the wild card series a couple years ago over Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. So that was really all the highlights from that game. So I guess in a way, silver lining wise, good to see some of the Yankee pitching other, than Cole, of course. Obviously, he's not pitching right now, but, stepping up, especially Heel, because that was a guy we had gotten
Heel
riled about. Obviously Tommy John and all of that missing a lot of time. So nice to see that. Beater, I mean, these are guys that are probably going to have to make starts in the majors this year. And then I love that Ian Hamilton, Clay Holmes have looked great. They're definitely going to be a big part of this bullpen.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that's a great thing to look at, especially, I know you don't want to talk about it, but, Garrett Cole, the MRI, you never know.
No, but I mean, also, I think I'm being realistic about that. I'm telling you, I think it's over. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not being delusional about that. Like,
but in the back of your head, you still are hoping for it's not over.
Well, everybody's going to hope that.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, I mean, right? Yeah. Like, isn't like, how would you look at it?
I mean, I don't think I look at it as it's over, but the fact that he's getting an MRI is not a good sign.
But is it Rangers down 2-0 after 2 against the Islanders a couple years ago? Like, is it not over yet, but it's over?
I would get it's not over yet. I mean, look at Judge. He just got an MRI. He seems to be clear.
But I think that was because I don't know. There's just certain things like it's like, oh, if someone's like abs or whatever,
right?
It's like, okay, what is it? Was their abs gonna be torn, broken? Like, obviously that wasn't the case. It's like he's banged up and needs some time.
Right.
That's fine. But it's just like pitching, elbows, it's just like I said, I just want to know now just so we can pivot. And also I didn't, mention this, but also maybe even better, than signing, Montgomery or Snell would maybe be just trading for Dylan Cease, because then, you don't have to, do a big contract just yet. Yeah. You could see, how he pitches this year. So that might be something put up for him. Whatever. I mean, it just, like we've talked about, just, nobody that we know, who we consider untouchable. So you might have to part with 18-year-old shortstop George Lombard, but I think that's okay. He's years away. And especially if Cole's going to miss this season, we need somebody. And I think Dylan Cease, gives you a chance to have somebody that, of course, nobody replaces Garrett Cole, but it's somebody that has the potential to be one of the best pitchers in the American League.
Yeah, no, obviously, yeah.
Michael Bucket asking if we do MLB Frenzy. Once the season starts, Michael, we will have the Baseball Tonight music on the board. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, that'd be freaking sick.
I can't wait for that.
MLB Frenzies, dude.
And then Lonnie was right too. Ridley is a free agent, but I guess Jacksonville wanting to resign him, and I guess that's why we haven't heard anything about meetings with him or other teams, getting in the mix. I know Kev is dying to talk about Diaz, the trumpets.
Yeah.
Crazy,
you don't
right?
care at all. I mean,
Mets World Series. Right?
No, honestly, I mean, it is kind of a big deal here. Edwin Diaz was once, 2 years ago, the best closer in all of baseball. Obviously getting hurt, missing all of last year. We know the story. There's a lot riding on him coming in. And you know what? I mean, he did. He came in, I want to say it was the 4th inning he came in to relieve McGill. Came in for an inning and struck out the sides. I mean, that's exactly for his first spring training appearance. That was the first time we saw him pitch in I guess, close to 2 seasons here. So, I mean, it's great to see. I mean, he seems healthy, of course, his entire spring training, or it's obviously a big question. How's Diaz? How's Diaz? What's he looking like? What's he looking like? And Mendoza, healthy, good, committed, competitive, ready for the season. We never really knew. We didn't see him. It's the first time we're seeing him, so it's still a big question mark. Honestly, it's only the first time we've seen him out, but still coming out here, hammering. I feel like his off-speed pitch. I mean, that kind of slider that he developed over the past couple seasons, he was definitely using to his advantage in terms of that go-to strikeout pitch, which is great. And yeah, it was nice to hear the trumpets. And, I think it's important to note here. I mean, the Mets have the lowest ERA in spring training so far at a 2.64, which I think speaks volumes because, the starting rotation, the bullpen were big questions, coming into this season. And I know it is spring training. I know that a lot of guys.
He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
No, he is going to be good. But I mean, it's even beyond that, though.
But you want to see what you saw yesterday.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, honestly, with the way the rotation and the rest of the bullpen looks like, honestly, Diaz was not my highest concern, to be honest. But seeing, Quintana come out here, Sean Manaea, Severino, and pitch consistently good games. Even McGill has been, surprisingly effective. It does, I think, make you feel a little bit better as a Mets fan. Because it is something a little bit more to look forward to. Obviously, again, I will reiterate, it's spring training. We've seen McGill in spring training before where he's lights out, regular season sucks. So, I think, there is still something left to be desired. But still, you got to feel good about the pitching. Unfortunately, the Mets did lose 1-0 yesterday, but the pitching looked really good. And obviously, we said Diaz, the trumpets. I mean, it was nice to see him out there, dude. What, dude?
No. I mean, it's just a 1-0 playoff. What do you think Kev means? Can't tell Barnes that.
That there's something to be hopeful for with the Mets. I feel like you could say that for everything I just said.
Yeah. But you think we find out about Cole today or no?
I don't think so. I think it'll be next week we find out. Do you think that the organization knows and withholds the information?
No, but I really do think yes. But then I think it's one of those things 5 people will tell them the same thing. Brian Cashman, we're gonna get a 6th opinion.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah. It's just nothing annoys me no matter what we're talking about when stuff just lingers, Tony. Mm-hmm. It literally is the worst feeling, just gives you such anxiety.
Do you think you're gonna hear today?
Yeah, probably. Breaking
you think so?
Torn UCL, expected to be ready for spring training next year. Unfortunately.
That's so ridiculously tough.
So ridiculously tough. Yeah. Yep. Especially because the fact that they're not, there's a report saying that they're not overly concerned. Because anytime you hear that, Tony, kiss of death when you hear that. And also, Lonnie says, I don't think they wanted to re-sign him either, Barnes, because they would have had to give up a 3rd-round pick if he was on the roster. So I guess there was some bonus for Calvin Ridley. But, I mean, obviously they get Davis, but in my mind, I mean, you definitely need more there at receiver. And I know Evan Ingram had a good year last year. And then Michael saying, Tony, my dad loves the Mets.
That's nice. It's a silver lining for Buckton.
Laughing. But I just, we wait and we see and we go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle break. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Ring. Made the full split save. Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
Get a little riled, Brian.
No,
Come
I mean,
on,
yes,
dude.
yes,
it was a big Ranger win.
It was a big Ranger win. Just play the other thing too while we're at it.
Oh, yeah?
It's a power play goal.
So there is that. The Rangers, big win, 3-1 over the Devils. Jonathan Quick, after a couple starts where he gave up a bunch of goals, rebounding quite nicely last night in the victory. Michael was riled. At one point, he would have been upset that the Devils lost, but instead, happy now that he is a Rangers fan, that the Rangers are now 42-18 and have kicked the shit out of the Devils this year. In the 3 matchups, they've outscored them 13-5. So really getting the job done in that regard. Mika Zibanejad back from the dead, his 20th goal of the year. I believe it was a 30-game stretch.
31, I believe.
31-game stretch of not scoring a 5-on-5
It was
goal.
like in December.
Talking about defining being completely ripped at the wheel, but nice to see that. And it was interesting. I don't know if you heard this, but it seemed like Sam and Joe were kind of like, or at least I think it was Joe for sure. I think Sam was saying it's surprising, that he hasn't scored more. Joe was kind of saying, oh, you look at him out there. He's running hard. He's playing good hockey. He's just not finding the back of the net. And I just feel like I disagree with that. I know the goal last night was good, but I think a lot of times I've definitely seen him, moving slower, than he should be. But obviously you just hope that goal last night, and gets him going. That's definitely for sure. So that led off the scoring. You also had a goal by is it Gustafsson or Gustafsson? Gustafsson, Eric Gustafsson, with his 6th goal of the year. And then,
the Gus bus.
So that, you went to the third up to nothing. You got a little nervous. 2.5 minutes in, Simone Nimak with his 3rd goal of the year, cut the deficit 2-1. But then Vinny Cutlets, Tony.
Yeah,
his 24th
baby.
goal of the year, assisted by Jimmy Vesey.
That is dope.
And that puts the game away for the New York Rangers here. 42 up, 18 down on the season. Big game with the Hurricanes on the horizon. But obviously, looking at this game, a lot to like. You like seeing Zibanejad getting back, in the scorer sheet here. But nada on the power play.
Which
it seemed like, they were struggling so long, over 4. But, they had struggled for so long, kind of heated up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it seems like, I don't know, the last 5-10 games back to nada regarding that. So I just think, as we really are in the stretch run here with the Rangers, I think, you have to get the power play figured out going into the postseason, just because it's like, in the postseason, it's harder to score. And I feel like the Rangers, am I wrong to say, Tony, this year, the New York Rangers have been a defensive hockey team?
Yeah, I would say so. They definitely have had their mistakes on defense, like any other team has. But you've seen still phenomenal plays by Adam Fox, by Keandre Miller, by Lindgren as well too. They've been great defensively for the most part. And I think yesterday was pretty indicative of it too. They did a great job in blocking shots. I think the Devils only had like 21 shots on goal or something like that. That's the Devils team that could be, very offensive happy, especially with them being, totally healthy with Heischer and Hughes and stuff like that. So yeah, certainly, a great defensive team, great defensive game last night as well. And I know Quick gave up that goal, late in the third there, but I think he was screened, just didn't see it. There was a lot of bodies in front of the net. That shit like that happens. Could have gotten the shutout, literally like so close to getting another shutout, which is tough for him to not bolster that stat. But still, great game.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. No.
It's just a stat thing.
Really, I mean, he made some great saves last night too. And again, I mean, that like even more so like bolsters our defense. Cause when players in the ice see Quick or Igor make some crazy stretch save, I mean, you can tell how much they get riled up, and they play harder, you know?
Yeah, they do. But I think honestly that the reason I mentioned the defensive hockey team is I think I know in the playoffs the defense will be there. They're going to play to the best of their ability.
Yes.
That's not what is going to hamper this team. But I think the biggest they need to get the offense, I think, more consistent, and because like we talked about with Johnny on the phone, is because they didn't add any big names at the trade deadline. Mika has to really step up and score more, and then also need to get this power play going. I know Roslovic has been in on the power play a little bit, but obviously no results up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on what can be done to improve this Ranger power play?
I mean, the only thing I can think that Laviolette could do, because I mean, power plays it's pretty basic. When you're up a man, like don't get too crazy, stick to your fundamentals, and just kind of play your game. I feel like sometimes the Rangers get too cute with it, trying to look for the extra pass instead of taking the shot. And I would say for now, I mean, the first power play unit, you got Kreider, Trocheck, Panarin up front, and then Mika and Fox as well. What? Oh my God!
What happened?
Nothing. Don't listen to him, dude. Change up your power play unit, like mixing some different guys in there. I honestly like let's see like Laffy on the first power play unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like change it up a little bit. Move Zibanejad to the second power play unit because Zibanejad is someone who hasn't scored. I would like to see that, or maybe just play your second unit even more.
What about Will Cooley getting in there? I mean, he's been aggressive recently.
He has been aggressive, and he sees no power play time. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, Cooley instead of Zibanejad or Laffy instead of Zibanejad. I mean, you can't really move Fox. You don't want to move Trocheck because he's winning you face-offs. You don't really want to, I guess you can't really move Panarin. You don't really want to move Kreider because he's your body in front of the net either. So again, I mean, really the only one I can see off that line is Zibanejad, but I mean, I don't know, dude. It's perplexing as to why that's a problem. Like, how could your power play unit with so much talent, so much ability struggle? 0 for 4 last night is really unacceptable. And I mean, you look at some of the stat lines from last night. I mean, you dominated in the face-off circle. I think like 65% of the face-offs you were winning. A lot of that, obviously, we know because of Vinny T, but also Zibanejad was good in the face-off circle. In terms of him not finding the net a lot, I don't know. I mean, he makes some great plays. Like he makes some really like high hockey IQ, smart plays. But then, like you said, there's definitely some shifts where he's just fucking out to lunch. He's clearly like taking a break on the shift, and it's like he doesn't really do much. And he's got to stop doing that. I don't know if that's just some type of like mental thing or I don't know. But seeing him get that goal last night was cool. I mean, he was skating hard at the front of the net, found the puck off a bad turnover by the Devils, and just put one past Kokken in there. So that was cool. I think maybe moving into the playoffs here, what the Rangers really need to focus on is, I mean, I think, obviously we talked about at trade deadline, not a lot of moves. You want to focus on improving from within. I'm going to look to players, like younger players like Lafreniere and Kakko to start to step up. And I think, honestly, last night, I love the way Kakko was playing. Again, I know I've been saying this a lot. It's not a broken record, but he will start to get his name on the score sheet, especially, honestly, like on that line, on that third line, it's him, Wenberg, and Cooley. And I think Kakko is realizing that now he has so much more room to have the puck. As opposed to being on that first line where they're looking to get it to Zibanejad or get it to Kreider. Because, dude, I was seeing some crazy puck handles by Kakko, some really elongated offensive shifts by him.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, he's going to find the score sheet, dude. I know you are, dude, but listen.
You're not?
No, of course. I mean, I want him to start scoring now.
Right, Michael?
But nonetheless, I mean, dude,
but it seems
there's
Zach
nothing.
Wilson is,
It's not Zach Wilson.
He's better. I acknowledge that, but I'm saying it just seems like, I mean, how many? What is this? His 5th year, Tony?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of a long time, like to still be finding yourself. No.
Yeah, no, I think so. And again, you look at Lafreniere and how he's doing. I think with his, drafted in 2020, his draft class. I mean, he's in top 5 of like every stat line in his draft class. Like he's doing really well.
That's the example of being a bust early, and
right? And then finding yourself.
Even if he doesn't get to where he was drafted, it's still like it's respectable.
Right, it is respectable. But I mean, the one thing Laffy may, I would love to look into this, but Lafreniere may have more games than Kako because of Kako's injuries.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 big injuries where he was out for an extended period of time. And I think people forget to look at that because they look at Lafreniere, oh, he's that good example of bad turned good.
Right.
Kako has had more setbacks, like injury prone wise, which again, injuries happen. So I think you give him some more time on this third line here. He's going to do well. I'm telling you right now, especially in the playoffs. And we saw it last season, 2 seasons ago. It was the kid line who was producing the most, that third line kid line. And here he's on a good line. He's on a good line. It's Kako. It was 2 seasons ago. It's not a long time, dude. He's on that, that line with Cooley, I love Cooley. His production's been great. He's come a long way. Your mic is muted, Michael. What do you want? What do you got?
He's saying stop making excuses for him. That's what he's saying, right?
Thank you.
No, you're not, dude. You're not saying anything.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, you have no thoughts in your head.
You found them.
Yeah. Anyway, you got to be super stoked with the way the Rangers have been playing.
Yeah, the Rangers, not Kako.
Just part of the Rangers,
real quick though about that, Tony. Honestly, all kidding aside, do you agree though that it's like he's got to finish this season strong? If it's not good, then there's no more. Oh, this, win that. That's it. Like, see you later. Honestly, this is, in my mind, this is his last opportunity, especially because we didn't acquire someone to fill that right wing position at the deadline.
No, yeah, dude. I totally agree. I mean, this is his time to shine, and the chips are set up for him. You just got to knock him down. I'm telling you, in this third line, he will prevail, Michael. Watch out.
I want to see.
Probably going to start tonight against Carolina.
8 goals the rest of the season right now. Do it.
8 goals tonight.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be crazy.
Yes, overall, yes, we're happy. But like I said, I just think I do think though, Tony, we did put a little more pressure on the defense by not adding any offense at the deadline, just because
very true.
That's how they're going to win these games. They're not going to win in the playoffs scoring 6 goals a game. That's not going to be the formula. So,
did you see Rempe's hit?
Yeah, and then the Devils want him suspended. Yeah, that. So, I still just don't get why the Devils. I know Vita has having a terrible year, but they really think Kakkonen is going to be better. I don't get that. No.
Yeah, I don't know what they saw in him, to be honest, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, Kakkonen looked great. Honestly, I mean,
great.
Yes, great, dude. I mean, he really only.
No. But look, I guess I'm just talking about full body of work. Like I get yesterday, yes, 2 goals. He wasn't in for the third empty net. But I mean, you look at his numbers this year. I mean, pretty atrocious. And I know, yes, being on the Sharks doesn't help. But I just think, I don't know. I don't see why they were interested in the first place. That's what I'm saying.
It was an odd call. I mean, I want to say, look at who else they got too. They got Jake Allen too.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like the goaltending market. What'd you say?
It's embarrassing.
Lightning in a bottle. That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the goaltending market wasn't very big, Like look at Boston didn't want to deal anyone. You obviously know the bigger names around the league. I mean, look at some of the goaltenders that went down this season too. I mean, Husso for Detroit went down. Carter Hart is out for the Flyers. Like it's not like there were a lot of teams were shopping goaltenders. So they did their best, I guess, to get someone they could have. I mean, they need to make a move, I guess, is fine. But again, I mean, Kakkonen, maybe you could. Again, looking at his game last night, that first period, he was phenomenal. No goals in the first, and the Rangers had a ton of chances. It seemed like the Devils were just giving the Rangers the middle of the ice. And then, the goal, Gus's goal was, Matt Rempe was screening him. I mean, literally, you're looking at Kakkonen. He's on his tippy toes trying to look over Matt Rempe. And all of a sudden, the net, the puck's in the back of the net. That's a Benajad goal
with Rempe. Didn't they? Wasn't that?
In the beginning. Yeah.
That was Rempe, right?
It was Panarin who scored.
Panarin was he? Yeah. Okay, it was Panarin. But anyway, me and Matt were texting about that and about the offsides rule.
Yeah.
No, you really needed it there. They were really cheating to score the goal. Absolutely insane.
I mean, it's a rule, Brian.
Dumb rule.
It's not a dumb rule.
Come on, in that scenario, in general, I still don't get how anybody could argue why it's the Rangers' fault that the other team turns over the puck in the offensive zone. Why is that their fault? Why are they penalized for that? Tell me why that makes sense.
Again, it's almost like a rule that's set up to, maybe it bites you in the ass sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, it's there to protect certain plays and change the way the game is played.
I think I want to see AHL try it out to
I mean, you
change
can
the offsides rule. That's what they should do.
I forget what, because there was somewhat of a rule change. Oh, God, I'd have to look this up. This was fucking decades ago. But there used to be there was a different way of, like, it's not that they didn't have offsides, but I guess they didn't have like an icing rule, basically. And it made like neutral zone defense like irrelevant, because everyone would just play back, give up the neutral zone, because you can go that far anyway with, like, by passing the puck. I don't know, man. Back then it just didn't seem right. It like eliminated half of the ice, dude.
Because I just feel like when a
again,
goal is scored, and then we had to have this stupid review about if a guy's tippy toes across a line. I feel like it's just a waste of time.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are rules like that. I feel like, around the league, around any league, though, there are rules like that are in place for a certain reason. But then, like, there could be like a play that's has nothing to do with even the outcome of what happened, it gets called back.
But I honestly can't think of anything similar. Honestly, in any sport.
Right. I mean, let's say even in football, let's say, like, the offsides in football, I
think that's so much different.
Let's
say
it
hasn't started. So you're going to allow somebody before the ball is snapped to be on the other side. Of course that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily before the play. I mean, yes, I guess it's before the play, but still, like, you still see plays play out afterwards. Like, the offense gets a free play.
The foot thing with the NBA was beat for a while. Like when a player would shoot and they kick their legs out and the defense would get a foul.
Oh, yeah.
It was the offense creating. Like, you can't.
Right, the offense created.
It's impossible to defend that. That's like
the way to defend is to not defend.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I think,
but they
honestly,
took that out.
Yeah.
So
experiment with it and then have like steep penalties for cherry picking, like your 10-minute major. Go ahead, cherry pick 10 minutes box.
That'd be crazy.
That sounds ridiculous.
I like that.
I don't like that at all.
Because it's just like I said.
Well, there has to be a line though for the cherry pick line. So technically, it's like offsides.
Yeah, they have to. Because like
if
I
you're
said,
past
if
this
the
line,
other team turns over the puck and our offensive guy is here, he turns over the puck to me here. It's like it shouldn't be. Oh, I can't pass the puck to him because he's over there, even though they gave me the puck. Like, come on.
Well, your guys should be. That's the point, though. They don't want the guy. Oh, like, you shouldn't be in the offensive zone when the play isn't there.
But
that's
the point. He can't try to steal the puck from the other team.
No, you can. You just can't cross the line with another player there before the puck does.
So technical and just ridiculous. For a sport that hockey, you're skating. You shouldn't have to worry about lines. Okay. I think this is a conversation that could just keep going and going.
We need to get like an NHL official in here.
Yes, I would love to talk to an official. Anyway, it is time, Tony, for the hockey frenzy.
Okay, the offsides here on the Tuesday, March 12th, around the National Hockey League. Just pulling up the scores, the days. It's Tuesday, as I said. And it's going to be a good one. We got plenty of games here tonight. A huge slate, actually. We're starting our normal time here. We got 7 p.m. in Buffalo. The Sabres hosting the Red Wings. This should be interesting. Just talking about the schneid the Red Wings are on, I believe, a 7-game losing streak still. They're pretty tight, looking to get back in that wild card spot. Buffalo here, though, minus 125 at home. The over-under is 6.5. Tage Thompson on the day-to-day for Buffalo. The Sabres coming off a 3-2 win against Edmonton in the shootout. Last time these two teams played, December 5th. Detroit 5, Buffalo 3. Can Detroit finally get back to center? What do you got?
Yes, Tony. They're due. I mean, they're not going to just lose every game the rest of the year. Yzerman's tight. There's a reason their record is what it is.
Yeah, Yzerman?
Steve Yzerman. Yes. Yeah, he played for Detroit. Now he's their general manager.
That's what's up.
That is what's
I loved him.
Yeah, no, he was
Detroit's
nasty.
dope.
He got popped. I think it was him that got popped by Scott Stevens, and also the dude that played for the Ducks.
And I think he's going to get popped tonight, celebrating that the losing streak is over. I'm going to see Detroit dominant in Buffalo. Patrick Kane, Tony, the Hattie.
Boom batty.
We are going to see Detroit 4-0 shutout Buffalo. So Detroit
4-0 shutout. Wow, dude. I know, so tough, dude.
I need you to mark these, by the way, too. My bad.
Oh, that's right. Okay, hold on. Gotta do everything around here.
Yeah, right?
Let's go. Oh my God, there's so many games too. So we got Detroit in the under, you said?
Yeah.
Detroit and the under. I will take Detroit as well. I think they will get off the schneid. I just can't see Buffalo win this game, dude. Casey Middlestad gone there for them, dude. He's their top assist man. So I don't know, dude. Give me Detroit. The under. Yeah, I guess I'll take it too. Give me Detroit and the under. I just can't see Buffalo scoring at all, honestly. And the Red Wings obviously haven't been scoring a lot either. So we're not getting much there. Next game up, we'll go to Canada. Montreal right up from Buffalo. They're taking on the Blue Jackets at 7 p.m. in the Bell Center. Montreal minus 115 at home. Johnny Gaudreau itching to get his 11th goal of the season. That's so terrible. Over under 6.5. Both teams coming off a loss here. But the Canadiens having a 2-0 lead in the regular season series are looking to get the broom out on the Blue Jackets. Do they have what it takes?
I'm going to say the Blue Jackets have what it takes here. Haven't been, really impressed with Marty St. Louis. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets canned. High expectations for a proud franchise like Montreal. But I'm going to say Merzlikins with the shutout. So another shutout here. And we're going to say Justin Danforth, who's not going to play.
Concussion.
He's going to be riled up on the sidelines. But Johnny Gaudreau, 2 points, a goal, and an assist. 3-0 Blue Jackets. So Blue Jackets in the under.
Over under 6.5. Give me the Canadiens. You say under? Hold on. I'll say give me Montreal and the over, baby. I think that both teams are honestly due to give up some goals. You look at the past 2 games, too, hovering around 6 or 7 goals. Both teams can score. I think Columbus, without Justin Danforth, dude, will be struggling a little bit. Give me Montreal winning this game 5-2, baby. Let's see. Next game up, still in the 7 o'clock time slot. We have Ottawa, still in Canada. The Senators taking on the Penguins, who are dying to get another win here. Ottawa minus 105 at home. Which is pretty interesting. The over-under, is at 6.5. The Senators have beaten the Penguins 2 times this season already, pretty decisively too, I guess. Actually, the last one, in overtime, 5-4. But what do you foresee in this third game?
Such a tough call here, dude. But I don't know. I guess just the fact that I know the Senators have lost all these games in a row, but I just feel like the way that Pittsburgh has gotten beaten down, because they have more talent, I think they figure out a way to win. Michael Bunting, the go-ahead goal late in the third period, 3-2 Penguins. So Penguins in the under.
Damn you. I second that. Penguins and the under. I just think there's going to be a lot of scoring here, and if it does come from anyone, it'll come from Pittsburgh. So I'll take the Pens and the under as well. Like I said, they win this game, 3-1. Very, very, very low scoring there, Brian. Next game up, still 7 o'clock, the Flyers. Tortorella steaming probably still right now. They're minus 320 at home. Why? Because they are playing the San Jose Sharks. Who dealt all of their good players, really. They have really no one left. And they suck, dude. So the over-under is going to be set at 5.5. What do you foresee here for the Flyers? You going chalk?
Vanacek shot. Nah, I'm just kidding. Flyers, I'm going to say 6-1 over the Sharks. So the Flyers and the over. Sharks have packed it in for this season.
Wow, dude. Give me Flyers and the under, I say. You said Flyers and the over, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Flyers and the under for me. Flyers and the over for you. 5.5 I know is low, but I can see the Flyers win this game at 1-0. So book them right there, Josh B. Next game up, 7 p.m. Let's go. We're going down to Carolina, baby, for the game that we all want to see. Igor back in net with the Rangers in the PNC Arena. Hurricanes here are minus 170 at home. The Rangers plus 145 on the road. Watch out now. Vegas is expecting great defense like we talked about and great goaltending as well because the over-under is at 5.5, which is very surprising.
Koskadov has been playing well in net.
Of course, we know Igor has as well. It's going to be a battle of the tendies here. Both teams coming off a couple of win streaks here. Hurricanes 3-game, Rangers 2-game. Both of them beating the Devils recently. And we know that this regular season series has been split at 1. So this is it, the rubber match. What do you think here, Brian?
Rangers 3-2 overtime. So Rangers in the under, and Mika Zibanejad playing the hero. 21 seconds left in overtime. The game winner, a wrister from the blue line.
I mean, hey, man, you can't lay it down any better than that. I totally agree. I mean, Rangers in the under. I think this is going to be a playoff matchup. This could be an Eastern Conference final matchup potentially, dude.
In PNC Arena, the flights, the first class.
That'll be freaking the upgrade, dude.
The upgrade.
I'm trying to see what tickets. $62.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, must be nice.
So give me Rangers and the under, just like you, Brian. Next up here, we're chugging along here, 8 p.m. time slot. We're going to be in Dallas now, the American Airlines Center. Speaking of the upgrade, the Stars are taking on the Panthers. This is going to be a great matchup here. Dallas, of course, the favorites at home at minus 110. Florida, the tight dogs at, actually, they're also minus 110, it says here. Over-under at 6.5. Oh, my goodness. What do you foresee happening here, dude?
The Panthers with the first class upgrade, the Stars back in coach. We are going to see the Panthers absolutely dismantle the Stars here. I'm going to say 7-2 in Dallas. So
wow.
Panthers and the over.
Panthers and the over. That is so tough. I don't know. I feel like this could be also another goaltending battle. This is going to be, again, this could be a Stanley Cup matchup. Who knows, dude? But the Tenders will be on their games for sure. I think this will go under. And I think the Panthers win it in OT, a gritty game like they typically do. Panthers winning this one 2-0. Give me Reinhart in overtime, baby. So you said Stars and over, right?
Yeah.
Stars over, Panthers under, dude. Next up, Minnesota Wild, a team that did nothing during the trade deadline. They're going to be hosting the Arizona Coyotes at the XL Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be minus 195 here. Kind of surprised it's not more than that. Over under at 6.5. Coyotes just got hammered by the Blackhawks 7-4. And the Wild have been pretty much dominating this series. They lead 2-1 in the regular season series here. What do you think is going to happen?
I think the Wild are victorious in overtime 2-1. So Wild in the under. Mats Zuccarello, the hero in OT.
So you said Wild under. I'm going to go Wild and the over, baby. These two teams play each other recently. I believe the Wild won 5-2. I am anticipating a similar score. So there we go. Wild and the over. Bet your money on that, Josh B. Next game, speaking of the Coyotes in Chicago, it is Chicago hosting the Anaheim Ducks, Michael's second favorite team here. 8:30 p.m. in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, minus 110. Your over-under will be set at 5.5. This could be battle of the Michigan goals here. I don't know if you saw, but Connor Bedard tried his best to get a Michigan goal the other night, failed, and it was Troy Terry who's one-upping him that night as well. Blackhawks leading this regular season at 1. Blackhawks beat the Ducks 1-0 last time these two teams faced. Do you anticipate a low-scoring game again between these two teams?
Yes, Tony. And I'm going to say another under. I think I picked the under in almost every game tonight. We're going to say Connor Bedard. 2 goals, 1 assist. Blackhawks 3-2 over the Ducks.
This is tough, dude. Give me Ducks and the over. I think both these two teams have been scoring a lot lately. So that's what I think is going to happen. Give me Ducks in the over right there. Bang, dude. Let's see, where am I? Next game up here. Now we're in the 9 p.m. slot in Calgary. The Flames are taking on the Avalanche. This could get ugly quick. Calgary, the home underdogs here, plus 150. Scotiabank Arena here. Tickets as low as $14. Think about that, Brian. Over under at 6.5. I think that the Avs will get that by themselves. Avs, of course, have beaten the Flames twice this season already. What do you got?
By the way, Joe Mixon not getting released, being traded to the Texans, and Jameis Winston looks like he's signing with the Browns. Give us some quarterback depth behind Watson. But yeah, come on. The Avalanche, far better. I don't care if it's in Calgary, Tony. I think they absolutely dismantle the Flames. I'm going to say 6-3.
Absolutely love it. 6.5. Honestly, I think I may go under here just because I think I'm going to go shutout for the Avs. They win this game. I'll say 5-0. So Avs and the under. You go Avs and the over. Let's freaking go here. Last game, 10 p.m. Almost out of breath over here. I am. Seattle, baby. The Kraken are taking on the Golden Knights. The two newest teams in the NHL. 10 p.m. Tickets go $68 over there in Seattle, who's plus 125 at home. They're the home dogs, dude. And there's a reason why. Over under 5.5. Another game where I think the Golden Knights can score 5.5 on their own easily. What do you think is going to happen here?
Yeah, looking at this, I mean, Vegas obviously improving themselves to the deadline with Hurdle. Had been really struggling. I mean, won their last game against Detroit, but had lost their previous 4. But this is one of those times I've been fading them a lot, but I just think in this scenario, playing against a weak Kraken team, they have enough here. So I'm going to say Vegas winning this game. Yet another under, Tony, as the Knights beat the Kraken 4-1 in Seattle.
Agree with Vegas. They're off the schneid, scoring bonanza right up the middle here in Seattle. Maybe Seattle scores a couple. The Knights win this game 5-2. Bang.
And that is your hockey frenzy, Tony. So a packed slate, obviously pumped for the Rangers. And we wait on the news for one, Garrett Cole.
Yes, we do. In the meantime, do you want to run down the picks from last night?
I don't have my.
No. I have them. Do you think you can run them down?
I got you.
Opposite roles here today. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
we'll start with you.
Okay. Yeah. Starting with me.
Rangers in the under
is good. 2-0.
Okay. Bruins in the under.
That is, it was a 6.5. Let's see. Yada yada yada.
Why you sound like me?
Of course, you don't get it that way. You got to go to the Gamecast. Why would I think that I could do that? All right, so 5.5. So that's 2-2. Next game.
Jets in the under.
Jets in the under. Let's see here as we're loading. Jets in the under is good. So that's 4-2.
4-2. Islanders in the under.
And that's 1-1. So that's 5-3.
5-3, and then I had Rangers in the over, right? So that's 1-1.
1-1.
Bruins in the under.
That's
1-3.
1-3. Yep.
Oh no.
I think you had Jets in the over. Right?
Jets in the over.
So that's 2-4.
2-4.
And then you had Kings in the over.
Yeah.
So that's 3-5.
Not good there at all.
Not great.
It sucks, dude. All right. So good. We'll keep that 3-5.
So this just coming out. Aaron Boone says there's no update yet on the Cole MRI, which sounds great. We'll undergo more tests today, which sounds even better. And it's unlikely he will be ready for opening day regardless because of where he's at with his buildup. Also, per Bob Nightingale, the Yankees, while awaiting news on Garrett Cole, have re-engaged with Chicago White Sox and made a new proposal for Dylan Cease, but the new offer once again did not include prized outfield prospect Spencer Jones. Yeah, Cole's out for the year. I mean, I think we can agree on that, you know? Honestly, come on. Would you be pretty surprised if it's like, all right, he'll miss 1 to 2 starts, be good to go, pitches the whole season, done?
Yeah, I'd be surprised to that. I mean, again, it seems like they're looking for another opinion, so I would imagine the first opinion was not good.
No, not good. Not great.
Not great.
Oh, why can't I just have nice things, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's one of those things, the way I look at it, if that is the case, and maybe we get to see, so I think we can get somebody. I think, yes, it makes it very challenging, definitely changes things, but I'm going to say that there still is an opportunity to overcome it. If it's the case, as big of a loss as it is, I think it's one of those things too. You don't fill it with one name, but you fill it collectively. Cease will be a start, and then need the other guys to step up, and you have to test that pitching depth with Beater, with Heel, with Warren. You know what I mean? Those guys are going to have to step up. As well as, I mean, geez, imagine if Rodon could actually pitch. I mean, that would be nice.
Who's going to see opening day, you think? Is it going to be Rodon?
Yeah, as long as he's not giving up 10 runs a game.
I guess we'll be there.
Yeah, also, though, it depends. So 6 games in, so 7 starts. So really would be the third man in the rotation. It could be a Stroman spot.
Oh, no.
But then with off days and stuff, you don't know what they do. So 4 starters, and then 3. So, yeah.
Damn, dude. I hope it's not Stroman. If it is Stroman and we're going to that game, I'm going to be hoping it gets popped, you know.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that, but like I just
hopefully Garrett Cole isn't recovering from Tommy John at that point. But I guess we'll have to find out. So yeah, a little nervous regarding that. But pumped for the Rangers at least tonight.
Yes.
And then we have 8 o'clock binge, right?
8 p.m. binge buddies. Oscars recap, dude. A lot happened. I'm gonna have Manny's reaction, which is gonna be dope. And that's gonna be an episode, dude.
Let's go. Let's go. So tune into that, definitely 8 o'clock. But once again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today, continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers!
Let's go Rangers!
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.